Read.
The book of Revelation, chapter 2 and verse 9. I know thy works and tribulation.
Christ is saying he knows the works and tribulation, meaning he knows our misery, says. He knows what we're going to, like what the so-called Haitian going to today. He knows all that. He sees it. Read.
And poverty. But thou art rich.
But you are rich. Why does it say you're rich? Hold on, give me Romans 9.
Bring it out.
Why does it say we're rich? Why are we rich? I mean, because obviously we're looking at today, right? We're not physically rich in this life, right? But why? Why do you think he says we're rich?
He blessed us to be rich.
He blessed us to be rich. All right. Read Romans 9. Read.
The book of Romans, chapter 9 and verse 4. Who are Israelites?
Who are the Israelites, right? Read.
To whom pertaineth.
To whom, not everybody, just the Israelites, to whom pertaineth, what?
The adoption.
The adoption, read.
And the glory. And the covenants. And the giving of the law.
And the giving of the law, the covenants. The Old Testament covenant and the new covenant that we all Christian pastors push that we're on the new covenant. That only pertains to the Israelites. That does not pertain to the white man. It does not belong to the Chinese or the Arabs. God did not make a deal with the other nation. God created you to be special. Matter of fact, before we get that, give me Deuteronomy 7. Because God made you a so-called Levite to be a special people above everybody else's. Do you feel like you're above everybody else? Sometimes, but like as a people, remember we cannot think of individuals because God didn't only curse certain individual and put them to the curse. He put all of us as a people under slavery. So we have to always remember we cannot be selfish and think personal, right? Read.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7 and verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God.
God said we are holy people unto him. Read.
The Lord thy God has chosen thee.
God said he chose the Israelites. Read.
To be a special people unto himself.
To be special unto himself. That's very powerful, sis. Like God chose y'all to be special. Read.
Above all people.
You hear that, sis? Above all people. So when you're walking around, the white man, the Chinese, you're above them in God's eyes. But because of what we sinned, now God had to punish us, put us through slavery, and now we're under them. But guess what? We can get back up. So that's why we are here to wake up our fellow Israelites. Now for you're so-called Levite, right? So-called Haitian, but from the tribe of Levite to on these last days. That way you can return back to your nationality, to your identity again.
Come on here. We need y'all to subscribe to help us push. We got a lot of work to do in North Carolina. The Carolinas need this work.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The Carolinas need this work. So we need y'all to go and subscribe right now. Grab your finger. This one right here in particular.
Right.
Swipe the YouTube that you're probably already watching. Click the YouTube app.
Right.
Go to IUIC Raleigh page. Right up under there, it says subscribe. Click that button one time. Click that check. Subscribe to IUIC Raleigh.
How you doing? How you doing, my brother? Let me talk to you. What's your name, bro? My name's Dennis. My name's Horel. Where you from?
I'm from Haiti.
From Haiti? Oh, Haitian?
Haitian.
Ok, Haitian. Respect. Haitian. Bon, mwen pose yon question. Ou pale anglais, pas vrai?
Yeah.
So, m'a kite l'an anglais pour tout le monde ka comprendre. Alright. So, you're from Haiti, right? So, what's your nationality?
My nationality is pretty much African.
You're African, right?
Yeah.
Alright, so this is Africa right there, right? So-called Africa right there, right? So if you're an African, can you point to me in which country in Africa you come from?
In which country I come from in Africa?
Yeah, because you say you're African.
I ain't come from Africa, but my ancestors came from Africa.
Right, but just because your ancestors come from Africa doesn't mean you're African. So we're gonna show you who you are according to the Bible, right? Read.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 13. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
You listening? God said if you don't listen to God, read.
To observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
It says, if you don't listen to God, all these curses shall come upon you and overtake you, right? So, are curses good or bad?
Curse. I don't know.
On maldition. Maldition.
On maldition is
Yeah,
bad. Maldition is bad.
It's bad, right?
Yeah.
So God said, if you don't listen to me and do keep my laws, then all these curses or maldition will tomber sous pepsa, right? Let's see who did those curses fall upon. Sous qui moun maldition sa ote? Give me verse 32.
Verse 32.
Uh-huh.
Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
It says, your sons and daughters shall be given unto another people. Vous comprenez?
Yeah.
Ça veut dire. Moi, je
your son and your daughter should be given to another people. Like, let me see how can I break that down.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you having kids with another woman, or
No, but I'll show you this. Read. You see here? Qui sont passé là? What's happening here?
they're selling your kids to other people.
To other people. When he says thy sons and daughters shall be given to another people, guess what? Your kids was given to another race of people. That's a maldition, right?
Yeah.
Read.
Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
Uh-huh.
And thine eyes shall look and fell with longing for them all the day long.
And your eyes, you would look to try to get your kid back, but you have no power to get your kid back. So you'd just be crying all the day long. Read.
And there shall be no might in thine hand.
And you have no power in your hand. Aucun pouvoir pour reprendre petit tout back. Alright? Pourquoi aller dans le chef? Faut qu'on histoire.
I'm gonna come back, but my right here waiting for me.
Who? Where?
That's why they beeping me.
They beeping you? I say para you?
No, American.
American?
Yeah.
Just tell them 1 second. How many times you speak with a fellow Levite? Like, I say para you?
Not much.
Not much. So, ou là, devant deux frères, pas vrai? Même tribu, m'blo connaît qui dans qui tribu sorti. Hein? Oh, I said. Vinicius.
Hey, Messi shade.
Pas de problème. Ouais, flyer ça nous gon numéro dans doa. Relez nous. Alright?
Okay.
Make sure relez nous.
D'accord.
Alright, you speak English, sis?
Yeah.
Okay, all praises. You speak Creole too? Okay, all praises. Let's read it back from the top, verse 15. So we're going over what's your nationality? Haitian, right? Now, I know you probably know when Dessalines, right? You know this history? When Dessalines gave us independence, did he call us Haitian?
No.
No. So when did we become Haitian? Because that's not a nationality. That's a term the white man gave us. Because when you look on this side, right here, you see here is what God called us in the Bible. Because there's no Haitian when you read the Bible. Do you see Haitians? No, there's no Haitians in there. But on the left side, that's what the world calls us today. And even that, the Haitian term didn't come until after 1804. Because when we got our independence, we was never called Haitians. Even the Constitution didn't call us Haitian. Oh, yeah, I got you. So, you know the situation that's happening in Haiti, right? With Jimmy Barbecue and everything, and how Esau's pushing that he's a cannibal, right? You ever seen him eat people?
Yeah.
So you've seen him physically eat people. Mm-hmm. All right, so media's pushing that, right? Because I personally haven't seen him literally eat a person, right? But that's what they're pushing. Because the same way they're doing him, guess what? If Dessalines was alive today, or Toussaint was alive today, guess what they would have said? He's the same thing, a cannibal. Anytime a black man will rise up to try to fix their country or to try to get freedom to their country, guess what? The white man goes, nah, he's a cannibal, he's evil. The same way they would have done it for Toussaint, the same way they would have done it for Dessalines, they're still doing it today. Read verse 15 again, read.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
So God said, if you don't listen to me, right? Come closer, sis, come closer.
To observe, to do all his commandments.
To do all his commandments, read.
And his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
It says, if you don't listen to God, all these curses shall come upon you and overtake thee. Are curses good or bad? Bad, right? Magician, right? Now we're going to read some of the curses, and you tell me, sis, right? I want you to tell me who fits those curses. Is this everybody or certain groups of people, right? Read verse 16.
Verse 16. Cursed shall thou be in the city.
It says, cursed shall you be in the city. Meaning what? you were sold on auction block on the city. Like you see those signs right here? Curse in the city, because when we got off the boat, we had to be in the city on the market street to get what? To get sold. That's a curse. Read.
And cursed shall thou be in the field.
And cursed shall you be in the field. What were we doing in the field?
Picking cotton.
And what was the so-called Haitians doing in the field in Haiti? Yeah, they was picking sugar cane.
Oh, yes,
Yeah, that was sugar cane. Like they was getting a back break by the so-called white men, the French at that time, and the Spaniards, right? To give them our riches. Read. Verse 32.
Verse 32.
Uh-huh.
Thy sons and thy daughters.
So that's one curse I showed you, right? Now, did that happen to the white men?
No.
Did that happen to the Chinese? No. Did that happen to the Japanese? Or the Arabs? No. That's only the so-called black and Hispanics. Because guess what? You might know in Haiti, right? Prior to us being shipped to Haiti, who was there before us? The Tainos. Guess what? That's your fellow brothers. You see right here? Because the Tainos, the so-called Dominicans, right? Simeon, right there, Simeon, the so-called Dominicans, they descended from the Tainos. That's our brothers. That's why we're still in the same island, in the same land. But guess what? Because the Bible prophecy said we would hate each other. We are not joined together. But we're going to get that later. Read.
Verse 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given into another people. And thine eyes shall look and fell with longing for them all the day long.
And we wouldn't have any power, any might to get those kids back. Just like you have kids right now, right? During slavery, what happened to them? They got sold, and you had no power to get them back. Even today, if you do not raise those kids to America's society, what will happen? They're going to take them. So that curse is not just in the ancient time, it's still happening today. Look at the border with the so-called Mexican. That's still our same people. Guess what? Some of them can't even find their parents because they're still in cages. So that curse is still well and alive today. Read.
And there shall be no might in thine hand.
And there should be no might, no military might, no economic might. Because earlier the brother said he was African, right? So, and I asked him, where on here? Because Africa is a big continent. Where in Africa are you come from? Because you say you're African, right? No, we're not African. Because you see that big land right there, land mass? This land was named after a white man, the so-called white man named Leo Scipio Africanus, after he conquered Hannibal during the Second Punic War. So they named the whole continent after him, just like America was by an Italian navigator, Amerigo Vespucci. That's when our fellow brothers, the so-called African Americans, say they're African American. That's not a nationality. That means you come from two white men. Can two white men create black people or even a baby? No. So African is not a nationality, and that's what I want you to learn today, sis. You're not an African, you're not Haitian, you're a Levite, an Israelite according to the tribe of Levi, according to God. That's what God calls you and knows you for. He doesn't know you as a Haitian. He knows you that I made a Levite. That's who I made. Your children are their fathers Haitians too, so-called Haitians? Born and raised. So guess what? Your children are from the tribe of Levi also.
That's right.
Read.
Verse 46.
Yeah, 46.
And they shall be upon thee for a sign.
And they, meaning those curses, like those malditions, those curses we're reading, they're going to be on the Israelites for a sign. Read.
And for a wonder. And upon thy seed forever.
A sign is what? You want to know, where is this? What's this store? What's this store called? Compare food. For you to know what compare food is, there's a big sign that says compare food. So those curses, God said, they're going to be on the Israelites forever for a sign to know who the Israelites are today. Because today, somebody's claiming to be the Jews today. So if these are the Israelites, right, and you see how do they look like with the skin complexion, they all got melanin, right, and somebody else is claiming that they're the Jews, so something doesn't add up, right? So we're going to go over that because I have a question I got to ask your kids, if you don't mind me asking them. Verse 48.
Verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies.
You hear what God said? Read it again.
Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies.
God said you will, therefore, because you refuse to listen to me, you're going to serve your enemies. Now, he didn't say just one enemy. He put plural. So many enemies. Read.
Which the Lord shall send against thee.
So who sent those enemies against us? Who sent the French against the so-called Haitian? Who sent the Spaniard The Britons against the so-called Haitians, sis? Who said? Let's see again. Read from the top.
Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee.
Who sent those enemies? The Lord sent those enemies. Why? Because we refuse to keep his commandments. Read it.
And hunger.
And hunger. You need food. Guess what? Matter of fact, today, you just went to buy on the Sabbath, right? So you need to go to who? Your enemies for food. Read.
And in thirst.
You need water. Guess what? The free water that comes from the sky. You can't even drink that. Right? Because you still have to buy free water that falls from the sky that God gave. But you have to go to your enemy to get water. That means the enemy is not just the white man. Because the Arabs have stores in our neighborhood. The Chinese, we go to the Chinese for food. The Chinese food. So all these nations are the enemies. Outside of these nations, everybody else is your enemy according to God. Read.
And in nakedness.
And in nakedness. The clothes your kids have or you have. You know, in the back, you usually say what? Made in China. Made in Taiwan. Yes, we might have people like that makes clothing, but to get the textile to make those clothing, our enemies own them. So we still have to go to them, to the enemies. Read.
And in want of all things.
And in want for all things. You had to come to America, right? You was in Haiti, right? So you was born in here? Okay, your husband, like the father, was in Haiti, right? So for him to come to America, he had to get what? A passport, a visa. Who gave that to him? His mom. But like what government? The Haitian government, which had to get it from what? The American government to allow him to come here. You have a driver's license, right? Who gave that to you? What government? So the white man had to give it to you, right? The car, whatever you need, your education, your kids are in school, right? Public school. They have to go to the enemies, the same enemies that destroyed them and did this to them. Now have to teach your kids. Do you think they're gonna teach them correctly? No, because they're gonna teach them to stay under oppression that they push on us, right? Read.
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck.
And he gets specific. And he says that enemy now is going to put a yoke of iron. You see right here, sis? You see what was on our necks? In slavery. This is very clear now, right? What was on our necks in slavery? Not just the mask. It was a jouk de fer, the chain that was on our necks, right? He says that enemy is going to put a yoke of iron. Now that's how you know the Bible is a true book. Because this was written thousands of years before we even went to the slavery. Thousands of years Moses prophesied this was going to happen if we refuse to listen to God. Read.
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee.
Until that enemy destroyed us. Because now your kids don't have the yoke of iron on their neck. You don't have, we don't have. What does that tell you? Read until again.
Until he have destroyed thee.
What does that mean? So we are destroyed. That's why today we say what? When I ask what's our nationality, what do you say? Haitians. That's a destroyed mind because we don't know who we truly is anymore. Because the enemy had the yoke of iron until he beat the nationality out of us. All right, read it.
The book of Hosea, chapter 4 and verse 6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge.
My people, meaning the Israelites, the so-called Haitian today in Haiti. The reason that we're killing, because we do much evil in Haiti to our own people. The reason we do that is because, read it again.
My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge.
Because we forgot that we was the Levites. We forgot that we were the priests that was doing service to God at one point. That whole history was wiped out. The Edomite, the so-called white man, beat that out of us. He beat the nationality out of us. Give me Hosea 1 and 3. Give me Isaiah 1 and 3. They beat that nationality out of us to the point that today, 99% of the time you ask a so-called Haitian, what's their nationality? Guess what? They're going to say it proudly. What will they say? I'm a what? Do it. Go ahead, sis. Go ahead. I'm a Haitian, right? And they'll put that flag in like that's their nationality. God never created a Haitian. God created a Levite. God created an Israelite from the tribe of Levite. That's who you are. That's who the fathers are. And that's who like all your kids is, because the seed continues. Whatever your father is, that's who you are.
That's right.
You got that, sis? Whatever the father is, that's who you are. Read.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 1 and verse 3. The ox knoweth his owner.
Now, God is, Isaiah is prophesying. He says, the ox, young Beth, right? He knows his master. Like, he knows who his owner is. Read.
The ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib.
And your burik, an ass, like, he knows where he, like, you can put him anywhere. He will find, because we know we got a lot of donkeys in Haiti, right? He will find where he, the master is, right? Read.
But Israel doth not know.
But the Israelites does not know. Just like earlier today, I asked you, what's your nationality? The brother asked the same. What's your nationality? Read it again. But what?
But Israel doth not know. My people doth not consider.
And we don't even consider, like, where we come from. Like, prior to today, like, have you ever wondered, okay, where did we come from? Like, because our history starts from slavery. They never teach us where we came from prior to slavery. All we know is slavery, independence, 18 May, 18 May, and 1st of January for independence, and that's it. And we throw a flag, and we be proud of that. We be dancing, doing raga, doing voodoo, doing everything we want. Everything God says not do, we do. But when God tells us do this, guess what? We rebel against it. Right? We rebel against it. I'll continue it, but I do have a question for your kids, sis. They speak Creole too? No. Hey kids, what's their name? What's their name?
Skylar.
Skylar?
Nevaeh.
Nevaeh?
Zion.
Zion. Oh, that's a good name, Zion, right? Hey, come here, come here. Show me, who is Jesus? Can you show me which one is Jesus? Come here, show me Jesus. 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 Now sis, why are you smiling? I do have a question. All right, stay right here. Why are you smiling, sis?
Because that's what they portray.
That's what they portray. That's why they push. Remember, we just read the curses, right? Who are the Israelites? The so-called blacks and Hispanics and Native American, right? If Jesus is an Israelite, does it make sense for him to look like that? No, because that's what they push. So we're going to read, because after today, they're going to know and never say that that devil is Christ again. Yes, remember that we worshiping the image of the beast, because that's what they push in movies and TVs and all images. Even if you tap in Google Jesus, guess what's going to show up? This white devil. Read.
The book of Revelation, chapter 1 and verse 1. The revelation of Jesus Christ.
I'm going to ask them, yeah? This is the revelation, kids. This is the revelation, meaning the revealing of Jesus Christ, right? Read.
Verse 14. His head and his hairs were white like wool.
He says Christ's head and his hair were white like wool.
As white as snow.
So as white as snow. So it gives the texture and the color. Now, woolly hair. Who has woolly hair? Touch your hair. Touch your hair. You see that nappy hair? The tech gun. That tech gun. Guess what? That's wool hair. Now, who has that type of hair? Out of these two, show me. Who has woolly hair like me? Who has the hair like me? This has a hair like me. That's woolly hair. The Bible says Jesus has woolly hair, right? And the second one is what? And it's white, right? Does this have white hair? They never. It's always a blonde hair, right? Do you know blonde hair is a curse in the Bible? God calls that a curse. And they're pushing not only the demon, and they're pushing that he has blonde hair also. But the Bible says God has white, woolly hair, meaning his hair is white, his beard is white, and it's woolly. Right. Read.
And his eyes were as a flame of fire.
And eyes. So what colors did you usually portray his eyes? Give me Genesis. Brown or blue or green, right? But the Bible says his eyes are as a flame of fire, meaning what? Red. Because when we're gonna read the prophecy why Christ's eyes was red, right? Because when we drink, right, not to get drunk, but the whites of your eyes turns what? Red. Read.
The book of Genesis, chapter 49 and verse 12. His eyes shall be red with wine.
Do you hear that, kids? His eyes shall be red with wine. Meaning Christ didn't have no brown, blue, green eye. His eyes was red with wine. Go back, read. And it's gonna get specific. So that's strike 2 on this devil, right? That's strike 2 on this devil. Because he don't have none of the description that the Bible say. Read.
Book of Revelation, chapter 1 and verse 15. And his feet.
And his feet, my sisters. What color is your feet? Black? Okay, yeah, brown, right? Brown, all right, read.
And his feet like unto fine brass.
Now, fine brass. Do you know what color brass is? Not grass, brass.
Like Brownish.
Brownish, right? He says Christ's feet now looks brownish, right? Now, the rest of your feet match, like I can see the top of your feet, right? It matches the rest of your skin tone, maybe a little darker, but it's still the same complexion, right? Read.
And his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burned in a furnace.
As if they burn. If you burn anything, what color does it get? No, if you burn it, after it's done burning, like your mom ever burn chicken or burn white rice, what color does it get? Black. It gets black. So according to the Bible, Christ is white color, black. So this image that they push, no, that's not Jesus. Next time they tell you this is Jesus, you say no. We're not saying this is what Jesus is, but this is a better depiction of what the Bible says Christ looks like.
That's right.
White woolly hair. You look like Christ.
That's right.
You have the same skin tone like Christ, all right? Always remember that, because they're always going to push this, all right? They're always going to push this, and I wanted them to know that, because that's how we break that curse that they've been pushing us. Remember, go back to Deuteronomy 28, right, 48, the bottom, and then one of all things, right? Y'all can go and step next to mommy. Read.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 48. And therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness, and in want of all things.
And in want of all things. The reason they push to that devil right there, the white man, to be Christ, is because guess what? That's what they push in the educational system. That's what they push on internet. Wherever you go, and guess what? When you tell them Jesus is black, they'll fight you. They say no. Right? Because that destroyed, just the fact that, Christ is black, destroy a lot of the things they're pushing today. Because what are they pushing today? They're trying to push that they are what? The Jews. Give me Revelation 2:9. They are the Jews, right? Now, sis, we've been showing you the curse. We've shown you, and you said it, who does curse fit? It don't fit the white man, right? It don't fit them. So, read.
The book of Revelation, chapter 2 and verse 9. I know thy works and tribulation.
Christ is saying he knows the works and tribulation, meaning he knows our misery, sis. He knows what we're going to, like what the so-called Haitian going to today. He knows all that. He sees it. Read.
And poverty. But thou art rich.
But you are rich. Why does it say you're rich? Hold on, give me Romans 9.
Bring it out.
Why does it say we're rich? Why are we rich? I mean, because obviously we're looking at today, right? We're not physically rich in this life, right? But why? Why do you think he says we're rich?
He blessed us to be rich.
He blessed us to be rich. All right. Read Romans 9. Read.
The book of Romans, chapter 9 and verse 4. Who are Israelites?
Who are the Israelites, right? Read.
To whom pertaineth.
To whom, not everybody, just the Israelites, to whom pertaineth what?
The adoption.
The adoption, read.
And the glory. And the covenants. And the giving of the law.
And the giving of the law, the covenants. The Old Testament covenant and the new covenant that we all Christian pastors push that we're on the new covenant. That only pertains to the Israelites. That does not pertain to the white man. It does not belong to the Chinese or the Arabs. God did not make a deal with the other nation. God created you to be special. Matter of fact, before we get that, give me Deuteronomy 7. Because God made you a so-called Levite to be a special people above everybody else's. Do you feel like you're above everybody else? Sometimes, but as a people, remember we cannot think of individuals because God didn't only curse certain individuals and put them to the curse. He put all of us as a people under slavery. So we have to always remember we cannot be selfish and think personal, right? Read.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7 and verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God.
God said we are holy people unto him. Read.
The Lord thy God has chosen thee.
God said he chose the Israelites. Read.
To be a special people unto himself.
To be special unto himself. That's very powerful, sis. Like God chose y'all to be special. Read.
Above all people.
You hear that, sis? Above all people. So when you're walking around, the white man, the Chinese, you're above them in God's eyes. But because of what we sinned, now God had to punish us, put us through slavery, and now we're under them. But guess what? We can get back up. So that's why we are here to wake up our fellow Israelites. Now for you, you're so-called Levite, right? So-called Haitian, but from the tribe of Levite, on these last days. That way you can return back to your nationality, to your identity again. Go back to Revelation. So I wanted you to make sure you always tell those because these are the princes of God. These are princes of God. They're not just, so-called Haitians just walking around. These are royalty. This is God's people. We got to make sure we understand that and believe that. Read.
The book of Revelation, chapter 2 and verse 9.
Going back to why everybody's pushing this white devil, right? White devil, because in Israel today, there's a group of people calling themselves Jews, right? So I want you to know, like the Jews, the term Jews come from these three tribes: Judah, Benjamin, Levi. It's short. Jew means it's shortcut for Judah, right? And Christ is what color? Because Christ comes from the tribe of Judah. And Christ was a Jew. What color is Christ according to the Bible?
White.
No, according to the Bible.
Black.
Black. You see that? That's the thing. We got to deprogram the destruction that they did on us. According to the Bible, he's black. That means his people must be what? Black. But let's read. Read.
The book of Revelation, chapter 2 and verse 9. I know thy works and tribulation and poverty.
God knows that. He knows how we're dealing. He knows Haiti right now. He knows that, right? He knows the poverty. He sees everything that's happening. Read.
But thou art rich.
But we are rich because what? The promise is, the kingdom is promised to who? The Israelites. It promised to you. Once you start keeping God's commandment and repent and return as a Levite and not as a Haitian, then you get the promise when Christ returns. Read.
And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews.
And he says, I know the blasphemy. Blasphemy means lies. And he knows the blasphemy of them that say they are Jew. Who's the them that's saying they're Jews today? Obviously not us. So there's a group of people saying they're Jews, but God said that's blasphemy. Because you're trying to steal somebody's identity. God made them to be a so-called Edom. Their biblical name is Esau, Edom, Amalekite. That's the line they come from. Right? Read.
And are not.
And what?
And are not.
So are those, because remember, they don't call themselves Jews. They say, what do they call themselves? Jew-wish. They wish to be Jews, but they're not the real thing. But today, because the Jews, you see that? That's Jew. Like everybody you see out here says right now, those are the Jews according to the Bible.
That's
like for example, my brothers from the tribe of Benjamin. If you look on here, that's the so-called West Indies. I know as so-called Haitians, we think we by ourselves. We think that's true, sis. We think that we the only so-called Haitian is a race of its own. No, God made 12. Like out of the Israelites, there's 12 tribes, and all of us come from one of those tribes. The so-called Haitians are the Levites. Now we are still scattered abroad, right? So there's still remnants of us because they didn't take everybody here. So that's why I said when people say, "Oh, African," no, we're not African. Just because we look the same does not mean we are the same, right? And then we're going to prove that. Give me Exodus 11 and 7. Exodus. Because the ancient Egyptians, do you know what color they were? Black, right? So they had who in slavery? They had the Israelites in slavery, right? And there was what? Also what? Black. All right, read.
The book of Exodus, chapter 11 and verse 7.
This is after we came out of Egypt, right? Read.
But against any of the children of Israel shall not a dog move his tongue.
It says, against any children of Israel shall not a dog. I want you to understand that. He says, shall not a dog. Read.
Against man or beast.
Against man or beast. Because he already mentioned dog, and then he mentioned beast again. God is calling the other nation. At this time, the Egyptians, what? Dogs. Right. Dogs. To God, guess what? To God, the other nations he created, they nothing. They are dogs to him. Because the only person that's special to God is who? The Israelites. That's it. Read.
That ye may know how that the Lord thy God put a difference between the Egyptians and Israel.
Read it again.
But against any of the children of Israel shall not a dog move his tongue against man or beast. That ye may know how that the Lord doth put a difference between the Egyptians and Israel.
Because between the Egyptians and Israel, there's a difference. Just because we look alike does not mean we're the same people, right? Now, what is Haiti mostly famous for? What is Haiti mostly known for? What do they push? Because so far, everything the white man taught us or pushed on us is what? Has been lies, right? But in Haiti, right? What was the thing that we claim as so-called Haitians? You know, you see, I keep saying so-called because God called us Levites. But as so-called Haitians, what is it that they pushed, that they said got us out of so voodoo, right? Now, do you believe that? What does God, do you think God speak about that? You got it?
Deuteronomy 20.
No. Witchcraft. But give me Genesis 49. Yeah. But I do need that one too.
I got you.
So today, right? We push voodoo, right? What do we do? What do we do with voodoo? Do we do it to enrich the island, or to what do we do it for? To be what? To do evil. To who?
Ourselves.
To ourselves. Not only we're not like, if it was this great thing, right? Why don't we use it so-called for good? Because there's nothing good that can come out of voodoo. But God prophesied that. And because of voodoo, guess what? You see the island? You see why Haiti and Dominican Republic, you know why they're not united? Because of that. And we're going to bring it. Genesis 49. Read.
For the book of Genesis, chapter 49 and verse 7. Cursed be their anger.
No, before that.
Verse
5.
5. Simeon and Levi are brethren.
Now, verse 1. Start at verse 1.
And Jacob called unto his sons and
So
said,
Jacob name was changed to Israel, right? And then now he's calling his sons, all the 12 tribes, right? Read.
and said, gather yourselves together, that I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last days.
So Jacob said, gather, my son, gather together, so I'm going to tell you what will happen to you in the last days. Now, all these are brothers, right? But like he's saying, gather together in the last days. So this is thousands of years. Jacob is about to prophesy what will happen to two tribes in particular. Read. Verse 5.
Verse 5. Simeon and Levi are brethren.
It says Simeon and Levi are brethren. Now you got to think about it. They're all brothers, right? But he's saying Simeon or Levi are brethren because in the last days they would be living on the same landmass. Same landmass. Read.
Instruments of cruelty are in their habitations.
It says instruments of cruelty is in their habitation. What's one of them? You said it before. What does so-called Haitians do? Voodoo. It says that the Bible calls it an instrument of what? Cruelty. That's what we use. And the Simeon is the so-called Dominican. They also do a type of voodoo, but they call it brujeria. I know I'm pronouncing it wrong, but like that's two witchcraft that we deal with. Read.
Instruments of cruelty are in their habitations. Oh my soul.
Oh my soul. Now, Jacob is saying, oh my soul, meaning what? The rest of the tribes, you listening, sis? Meaning the rest of the tribe outside of Simeon and Levi, read.
Come not thou into their secret.
Meaning don't learn their secret. Don't learn voodoo. Don't learn brujeria. That tells you what? God does not want us to be dealing with voodoo. God does not want the other tribes to deal with voodoo. Read.
Unto their assembly, mine honor be not thou united.
Unto their assembly, mine honor. Meaning Simeon and Levi, we will not be united. Like we on the same landmass, right? On one side, it looked like South Beach, right? On the other side, it looked like trash, right? That's one way where we're separated. Another way is what? Economically. On one side is rich. On the other side, we're rich, but guess what? We're not reaping the riches of the land. It's going to the so-called white man, right? And another way it separated us again, we're not united, is by language. On one side, they speak what? Spanish. On the other side is what? Creole, right? French, Creole, right? That's what, read it again.
O my soul, come not thou into their secret. Unto their assembly mine honor be that thou united. For in their anger they slew a man.
And it's going to the reason why we're not going to be united, because this is history that's going to go we had a sister called Dinah, right? So we tricked the so-called Africans, the real ones, and we had them circumcise their kids, and we killed all the male. Because that's what we did. We like Simeon and Levi, we went to that town and we killed everybody once they was hurting. Read.
Cursed be their, excuse me, and in their self-will they dig down a wall.
And there's their self-will, because we were self-will. We went down and destroyed the Hamite nation. Read.
Cursed be their anger, for it was fierce.
It says, cursed be our anger. Look at Levi. Doesn't Levi get angry real easy, real short? And once that anger is in their head, they'll do that evil to each other. God said, cursed be their anger, because that's how we are. Read.
For it was fierce, and their wrath, for it was cruel.
And for their wrath, it was cruel. Because that same thing with Simeon and Levi that happened, guess what? That happened again during Christmas in Haiti. Like, we waited for the white man in 1800, in 1700, we waited for the white man to get married because, they're celebrating a false god. Christmas, your kids are celebrating that, right? You know that's a false god, right? God don't want us to celebrate that. We're gonna get that. But the history is the so-called Haitians and the so-called Tainos, the Dominican. Guess what? We joined together and we killed our masters for that time. But that goes back to that anger. That's why we're not gonna be united, because when we come together, anger is activated. It can be terrible. Was that it? Read.
I will divide them in Jacob.
It says, I will divide them, meaning Simeon and Levi will be divided with the 12 tribes. Now, back then, Levi didn't have land. When we inherit Israel, like with King David and all that, King Solomon and all that, we didn't get a piece of land because we was the priest. We was living amongst every tribe. God divided us then. But guess what? God divided us today too, because we're on the same island, but we cannot get along with our fellow Dominican, right? Read.
I will divide them in Jacob and scatter them in Israel.
And scatter them in Israel, meaning we were scattered throughout all the tribes at that time, and today we still scattered today, right? Was that it?
Yes, sir.
But that's the history. Remember, this is Genesis 49. So the so-called Haitians' history been in the Bible. Our history been in the Bible. We just haven't been properly taught our history. That's why a lot of time you ask of people certain question, right? They say, oh, I'm Haitian. I know we got that pride. I know, because I once was like that. Don't think, oh, I was always, no. I was once in your shoe, and now, all praise to the Most High, He woke me up. And now I'm out here teaching my fellow Levites, to repent and come back to their true nationality. Because voodoo, God doesn't want us to do that.
What is a nation? Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity. Nation is you. It's nation time.
And finally, my brethren, be strong.